Hey guys, it's CB Gray coming to you guys live with another Destiny video. How are you guys doing today? So in today's video, I just want to talk about Shadowkeep because it's so close to being here and there's so much information to know and it can feel really overwhelming. So the purpose of this video is going to be to just catch you up to speed on everything you need to know before Shadowkeep drops. We're going to try to keep this under 5 minutes. Hopefully this is helpful. If it is, hit the like button. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe because we're so close to 50,000. So let's go ahead and do this. So the first thing you're going to want to know is that if you have gunsmith materials, make sure you're saving those, because those can break down into new mods in Shadowkeep. The next thing to know is that the Glimmer cap is going to be raising from 100,000 to 250,000. So if you're interested in getting Max Glimmer the second that Shadowkeep goes live, hit the card on the top left corner because I have a video talking about that. The next thing to note is that the soft cap in the game will now be 900. The powerful cap is now going to be 950, and then the pinnacle cap or the hard cap is going to be 960. So essentially you'll be raising your power up to 950, and then you're going to have to do some of the harder activities in the game to get your power up to 960, and then after that your artifact can push you as high as you're willing to grind, which is interesting. The next thing to know is that year 2 powerfuls are not going to be powerful drops anymore, so that means things like the forges and reckoning, those things aren't going to drop powerful anymore, so keep that in mind. Next thing to know is that now that it's Friday, Menagerie can drop up to 5 weapons today because of the community challenge. That's really nice to know. Next thing to know is that Reckoning removed its hard modifiers, so if you want to grind for spare rations this weekend, this would be a cool weekend to do it. Next thing to note is that Triple Infamy and Valor are live, so if you're going for Redrix or whether you're going for Dredgen or whatever you may be going for, this is the time to grind over the weekend. Next thing to know is that if you're hoarding bounties, Gambit, Crucible, and Vanguard bounties are no longer going to carry into Shadowkeep. Not sure why Bungie didn't get rid of all the bounties, but that's their own agenda. So there you go, get rid of those bounties, just turn those in. Next thing to note is that exotics will not drop from the year 2 activities anymore, so if you're doing a forge or if you're doing Reckoning, same thing, you're not going to be getting new Shadowkeep exotics from those activities, so keep that in mind. Next thing to know, speaking of exotics, is that Xur's exotic loot pool and also the Faded Engrams now can offer year 2 exotics. That's really cool. Liar's Handshake, please come now. Okay, next thing to note is that don't keep more than 1 of a certain mod because they'll become reusable. So for example, if you have 10 of a certain mod, you only need 1 of them, turn the rest in for mod components and they'll become reusable in Shadowkeep. If you have one that's in a gun, make sure you break that gun down or else it's not going to count. Next thing to note is dismantle all your Bright Dust items because they're not going to be dropping Bright Dust if you dismantle them after Shadowkeep. So make sure to get your Bright Dust and then just repurchase them after Shadowkeep goes live. Next thing to note for all my AFK farmers, if you're farming for materials, just know that you won't be able to do that in Shadowkeep, so this weekend should be the week that you're doing a ton of AFK farming. Make sure you get that done. Next thing you know is that damage buffs like Kill Clip, Rampage, Multi-Kill Clip, Swashbuckler, Surrounded, Onslaught, Master of Arms, and Desperado are getting nerfed. So yes, I'm talking to you Recluse, yes, I'm talking to you Redrix Broadsword. There's a few that are interesting in there, so just make sure you guys keep a note of that. Next thing to note is that legendary weapons are getting toned down so exotics can feel stronger. Next thing, pinnacle weapons are not going to be pinnacle weapons anymore. Now they're just called ritual weapons. There's going to be 9 in Shadowkeep, and the quest will give you a curated role, and the quest is going to be a lot easier. Next thing to note is that the 3 weapons are going to be, the Vanguard one is going to be called the Edgewise. It's an LMG. The Crucible one's called the Scout, it's a Scout Rifle, and it's called Randy's Throwing Knife. And then the Gambit is an SMG called Exit Strategy. Next thing to note, the launch of Shadowkeep is October 1st on Tuesday, and the raid's on October 5th, and Jotun won't be allowed in the raid, so if you're wondering about that Jotun glitch, it's not going to be available in the raid. Next thing to note is that 24 hours before the launch of Shadowkeep, there will be maintenance, so make sure you get all your last second grinding in before Monday morning. Don't wait until the last minute. Yes, I am talking about you, because you will not have the last 24 hours to play Destiny, or Destiny 1 either, for that matter. No Destiny will be played in the last 24 hours. Next thing is Shattered Throne is going to be available all the time, which is really, really cool, so make sure you make a note of that because that's an extra powerful drop. Actually, no, it's not, because there's no powerfuls in year 2 anymore, but also just make a note of it, and you can also access it from the map, and then you can do the same with forges as well. Next thing is that non-powerful drops are dropping 3 below your light, which is really cool because that means that if you're missing, let's say, a pair of boots, let's say you're 900 and your boots are 880, now all of your drops are going to be 897, so it'll be easier to fill in some of those gaps. That's really cool. And then lastly, more prime engrams are going to be dropping, but because more are going to be dropping, they're only going to be +3 drops now. So I hope this was very, very helpful. I know I went fast, but I wanted to get all this information in there for you. Hope this was helpful. Shadowkeep is so close, and I'm so hyped. So I can't wait to see you guys in Shadowkeep, guys. And with that, I'm going to talk to you guys in the next Destiny video. Thanks, I love you guys.